And that's all ego is, the need to be in control, which doesn't work. Then we have the need for safety and security. Now, the need for safety and security is never satisfied. Safety, this is very common among the feminine principle women. They want to feel safe. They want to feel that they are safe if they go out with another human being or whatever. So there's a need for safety, and because there's a need for safety, they're always feeling not safe. What if I go out with a guy and I don't know him enough and he happens to be a hatchet killer or something like that?
Yeah.
Or a murderer or a rapist? Yeah. So in other words, we develop a fear of not being safe. Why? We develop a fear because we need safety. Because safety is found in being. Safety is being itself. But we as humans develop a need for safety because we're not in touch with the being. You see? So therefore, because we have a need for safety, that very need says, I don't have safety. So you start seeking it. See, all these needs are seeking. You see? And security, we think, if I have $1 million, I'm going to feel secure. If I have all these things satisfied, we're going to feel secure. And you'll find that the most secure person in this world who can live in a palace still fears death. Unless, of course, he has realized the being. Still fears having a terminal illness. He still fears losing all that money. So how secure is a person, you see? Right. So security can only exist in being, you see? And then we have the fourth need, which is separation. And see, the true nature, who you are, is called I am. This is the important thing, because you are a human being. Now, there are 7 billion humans on this earth, but there's only one being, you see? So when you say you, and there's a group of people in there, they might all turn around saying, you mean me? You're talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay, because you represents everybody else.
Yes, right.
Use the word you. You see, I write an article and I said, well, this is how you think. You see? And everybody that reads it will say, yes, that's right.
It is. Yeah.
So you refers to everybody. Why? Because you is the I am of you. The I am is the being, which represents the whole of all living creatures, all living beings, including extraterrestrials. So, but again, why do we need separation? Because we are not in touch with the oneness that we really are. We're only in touch with the human. So therefore, we make the human as all important because that's all we know and where we think we are. So we try to feel important, we try to feel separate, and no matter how we are among groups of people, or alone, or whatever, if we are alone, we feel lonely. If we are with a group of people, we still feel separation. Okay? We want to feel separate because, see, I don't care how people think or feel. I know I exist, I know I am, and I know how I feel. And therefore, I want to take care of number one, which is myself. But we do not realize that basically the truth of you is the I am. Okay, so now let's understand what I mean by I am. Because I could say I am Burt, right? Which in a way is correct as far as referring to my body and my past is concerned. But I am more than being Burt, the body, or the past. I am, period. You see? And therefore, the moment I say I am also you. Do you understand? And that's where love comes in. Because the I, when it's taken to its ultimate, is the I, the totality of I am. Just like, look at it this way, okay? There's a ladder that reaches up above the clouds. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And the average person is on the first rung of the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
So they look around and they see themselves separated from all the others.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And then they climb up 2 or 3 steps to this ladder, and this ladder is the truth. Okay? It's called the truth. So you can climb up 3 or 4 or 5 steps, and you begin to, hey, you're about 10 feet tall now. So the people are so you see the people all around, and you begin to think, well, you know, I stepped up on this ladder, but anybody that steps up will begin to feel the same way. Like we're all kind of the same here. I'm not really better just because I'm a little higher. The only difference is that I can see more as I go higher. Then you climb up even higher, and the people begin to look smaller, but you see more. You see? And you begin to see that, wow, we're all the same. We're all exactly the same. We feel the same. We think the same. So there is no real separation. Finally, you get up to about halfway point, and you become a little scared because you see that there is no you as you thought there was. You know, you're seeing the whole panorama. You're seeing the whole view. And finally, it says, I am part of everything I see and experience. How else can I be? And you begin to see how small you really are, so you get a little scared. However, you keep climbing more and more and more. You've got the courage. Now, most people stop at that point. That's called confusion. You're in the middle. You begin to see how you're part of everyone, but you still want to be
yourself.
Separate. You still want to be yourself, thinking that, of course, there is something as a separate self. But you've got the courage to keep climbing. So you climb higher and higher and higher up the ladder. Finally, you reach the top and you realize you never got any place. The ladder was always here. It never moved. It never reached anywhere. It was always here. But as you look down, you realize that the you tried to protect, the you that you thought was different, is really this whole experience of totality and wholeness that you're now experiencing. It is your feeling knowing. And that becomes your understanding. That all there is feeling knowing of that being. You see? Right now, if you go and travel, because this is what you want to do, that feeling knowing inside you will be happy and bubbly and alive, because you're looking, you're experiencing, you see different things, right? Okay, but suppose another person will say to me, I don't want to do what Brian is going to do. I don't want to travel. I'd rather stay home and play on my computer.
Okay.
You see, which is fine. That's what he wants to do, right? Okay, but what makes the difference between Brian, who likes to travel, and another Brian who likes to stay home, play with the computer?
The temperament of the person.
It's the feeling knowing.
Oh.
You see?
What do you mean, Burt?
Because everything is a feeling knowing.
So, but he might feel happy on the computer, no?
He might feel happy on the computer, and his own way of exploration and everything else is gone through. Maybe he's a 5 Enneagram. So his way of gaining knowledge is not by traveling and seeing and being with different people, but through information, through knowledge.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is fine. So his feeling knowing, his way of experiencing, is through gaining knowledge, gaining information.
Right.
Another person would be a little bit more external and more variety, more direct experience with impact on other people. You see? But ultimately, all that we are left with is feeling knowing. Feeling, because how you feel is how you feel. Right? If you're feeling miserable, then everything is miserable.
Yeah.
If you're feeling good, then everything is good, because that's the feeling. Knowing means this. Why is connected with feeling knowing? Because when you feel the utmost self in you, that becomes the knowing of truth, the knowing of the ultimate reality. You see? So when I begin to experience directly and begin to feel this wholeness that I am, this completion that I am, then automatically there is a knowing of who I am. Do you understand? Yeah. So that's how it happens. Okay? Now, is this more or less clear? Now, when you ask